Hello, I'm Jim Murray and I'm going to try and teach you how to play the song Lord Douglas, which a few people have requested. So the first thing you need to do is to tune your guitar to the right tuning. So the tuning for this song is C, G, C, G, C, D, what some people would call C9 tuning. So it's mainly roots and fifths with a ninth on the top or a second on the top, depending on how you think about it. So the bass string is tuned to a C, which is 2 whole steps below standard tuning. So if you're coming from standard tuning, the E all the way down to a C, then G, which is 1 whole step below the A, it would be in standard tuning, C, so again 1 whole step down, this G stays where it is, another C, but this time turned up 1/2 step from the B of standard tuning, and then a D on the top, which is a whole step below the E of standard tuning. So you get C, G, C, G, C, D. So this song is actually in D, not C. So we use a capo at the 2nd fret. Just put that on. And what usually happens when you put a capo on tunings like this is they go slightly, some strings go slightly sharp. So let's just check our tuning again. So what we'll end up with is, with the capo on, the note names will be D, A, D, A, D, E, if you want to check that on a tuner. So I'll teach you the first phrase. I'll just play it through the intro, or half an intro I think it's going to be, and then I'll teach you how to play it. So it goes like this. So that forms the basis of the whole song. So I'll just take you through that bit. This song, well, before I start that, just a little note about what I'm doing with my right hand, which is using hybrid picking, which is a thing that I picked up from watching Richard Thompson, who I think in turn picked it up from watching the country guitarist James Burton, somebody like that. So you have your pick between your first finger and thumb, like that, pointing out to the side. And then you use these 2 fingers. Some people can use all 3 remaining fingers, but I've never been able to do that. These 2 fingers, in reality, mostly my 3rd finger and pick, and a little bit 2nd finger. So I'll just take you through what the pick is doing, which alternates between playing a bass line and this sort of alternating half sort of Travis picking thing, as they call it. So this phrase involves 2 lines moving in sequence, which means that they are moving at a sort of fixed interval, or varying between major and minor intervals, and to do this sort of shape. So the bass line of that, we start the 2nd fret above the capo on the what's now an A string. So B, A, F sharp, G. So that's in fret numbers, that's 2, open, 4, 5. Yep. And then over the top of that with our fingers, we have open, 4, open, 1, which you end up with your 1st finger, which becomes important in a second. So open, well, what would have been a B string in standard tuning is now, what is it? It's a D string, hooray, yes. Okay, so when we play those 2 lines together, we get this. I'll do that one more time. So those are moving in sequence. And at that point, what I said a second ago about the bass line, it fills in all the gaps with this Travis picking thing. So the pick strikes this open 4th string, and then the next thing that happens is this 1st finger, because we've ended up with a 1st finger here, does a little pull off, which sounds like this. So that little note is filled in with my left hand. And then you get open, bottom string, third string. So there's a pull off on that string and then you pluck it straight away with my third finger. And another filled in little alternating pick stroke. And then what happens is the 5th fret above the capo on the 4th and 5th strings have a little bar there. Close the gap a little bit. 4th fret and 5th fret. And then what would be a power chord shape, I mean it is a power chord shape if you're familiar with electric guitar. So that's open a 2nd fret and then a power chord higher. So play that together. Open 4th string. Let me think what it is. Okay, so that's just 5th fret on the bottom string, and this is that Travis picking thing. So. And then we get this A chord, which is open 5th string, 2nd fret, 4th string. Play that whole bit. And then a partial repeat. And when you get to this B minor chord, instead of playing that power chord, we have it with an open 4th string. So. Just slightly different. And then we finish that off with a same chord. So what we get in reality is a 5th fret above the cap on the bottom string. This one is damped by the flesh of my 4th finger. Open, and then we get this power chord and there's a little pull off. So what we do is we strike that string and then you just hammer on, pull off, hammer on. So I'm not plucking any of these notes apart from the first one. Yep. And then we just strike that octave. So you get open bottom string, 5th fret on the A string. I'll play that whole thing. Let's play a bit better. Okay, so that is the first half of the intro. The second half of the intro is the same thing again with one more variation. So you've got the first bit, and this time we've got So this time we have an open 3rd string. So 5th fret on the bass string, open 4th string, and then we go to climb down to that A power chord. I'll play that again. I'm doing all with the pick as up and down strokes. Yep, and then same as the first half. And then the singing starts. So, awake, awake, arise, you seven sleepers, so long before the day the Lord Douglas comes all in your lady's chamber to steal his love away. So, all variants on that same riff. That time it just ends with open bottom string and fourth and third, yeah. And then another verse. Some of these verses when I'm singing are a little bit simplified. Let me just see what I would actually do. Put on the gold and chains of silver. Don't let your father know that I will take in hand his youngest daughter, and to the hills we'll go. Some of the verses end on a different chord, particularly that one, the 4 chord, which is a G chord. And it's usually just that bass note and those open strings. And then we get to, the song is in blocks of 4 verses with a third verse that has a different tune. So the form of the melody, of each block of melody could be described as A, A, B, A. So 1, 2 and 4 are the same and 3 is the odd one out. And that goes like this. An A chord, or 5 chord. So that same chord we had before. Open, 2, 4, open. Leave the little finger where it is and make open, 2, open, 4, open. So, there was one in the lady's house. So all I'm doing is I'm moving my first finger from the 4th string to the 5th string, just crossing it over. So this G chord has got 5th fret on the bottom, damped again, open, 2nd fret, and then pull off, same strings open. So but there was one in the lady's house who heard what they did say. They rang the bells so loud and clear, so long before the day. This time ending on the A, same A chord again, and then we're back to awake, awake, arise, you 7 brothers, put on your armour bright. Lord Douglas comes all in your lady's chamber to steal his love by night. This is the same as the intro. And then another block of verses. This time I've got a feeling that verses 5, 6 end on the relative minor chord, a B minor chord, which will be this one. 2nd fret of the A string, 4th fret, 4th fret, open. So how that works is like this. If we're going halfway through the verse. So, they had not rode but few short miles together across the woody green. Lie down, he says, my true lover, the dawn is coming in. The sourwood and the ash grew up together across the woody plain, and all the trees and the greenwood start to tremble to whisper I think I hear your father's steed. Same as before. Sometimes in that bit, especially live, I can't remember on the record, it goes, but there was one in the lady's house who heard what they did say. So, with a sort of crab-like grab on it. There was one in the lady's house who heard what they did say. Yeah, that's a little variation I put in. So then the next variation you need to know, we've got first block of verses, second block of verses. Then it ends with the instrumental break the second time around has a higher part, which goes like this. Play it now. That's right. Okay, so where you would go open 4, this time with our little finger we're going 4th fret, 2nd fret. This is on the C string. And to get that bit, I wrap my thumb around the top of the neck and do those in parallel. 4th fret, 5th fret. And then it goes, so it's the same shape as before. A, B minor, just crossing this power chord. Time it ends on unison Bs. That's before. Third block of verses happens, and at the end of that one there is a different instrumental break. We are halfway through the song, only halfway through the song at 20 minutes into this video. So that one ends, oh yes, the fathers I'll get no more bit. So so the fathers I'll get no more is lie and hold your hand, my love, she says. Your strokes are wondrous sore, for sweethearts I can have again. Our E minor chord, which is a bar across the bottom 2 strings, 5th fret on the next one, open, open. So, for sweethearts I can have again, but fathers I'll get no more. Just put that E minor in there. And then, hold off, Lord Douglas, she calls towards me. So you can get those chords from the other things, the timing is just different. Hold off, Lord Douglas, she calls towards me. Calls him by his name, for all the blood that you have shed in anger. Love runs in every vein. So the shape of this chord is 5th fret, nothing on this one. Open, 4th fret, open, 5th fret. Love runs in every vein. Yeah. 5, open, 4, open, 5. It's one of my favourite chords, that one. This G. Sus4. Yeah. Is that sus4? I'll work it out later. So we get to that point, and then the 4th block of verses is sort of more quiet, tentative bit. Yeah, and then at the end of that block, the usual thing happens. There is a standard instrumental without that higher harmony. Yep, and then the 5th verse, The only difference is it resolves to a big major chord. So, but slowly, slowly the sun rose up. No. But slowly, slowly the sun came up. I've forgotten the lyrics. Okay. And at the end of this verse, oh yeah, for every wound Lord Douglas had, the crimson blood did flow. Ends with this big major chord, which is open, 5, 4, open, open. And then carry on as you were. Buried in the yard, and he was buried by her. Out his heart a crimson rose, out his heart a briar. So on these verses, that it ends with a double beat. So out his heart a briar, which is B minor, A, same shapes as before. Do it one more time. Yeah, and then one more verse to end. The briar and the rose grew up together till they could get much higher. Same there. And there they twined a true love's knot together for all of two admire. So a standard instrumental. Harmonized one. And then the silly bit. So what you do is you go, and instead of hammering onto the 4th fret, you hammer onto the 2nd. Slide that up, and then you've got all these 3 fingers free to go like this. Over the top. So to end. So that is how you play Lord Douglas. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and yeah, have fun playing it.